idea why we set up this event was that, as you know, we worked for a number of years as colleagues as Tampere University of Technology, starting from, I don't know, 2005. 2005, yes. So we were doing quite a, different kinds of things, developing web applications, developing data-driven things, and trying to get data from online sources, visualizing data, kind of doing big data before it was called big data. The idea, again, for organizing the discussion sort of came from the fact that you attended the Academic MindTrek last year.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you ended up receiving the best paper award from Academic MindTrek. So can you tell a little bit about the paper?
Yeah, first of all, it was a really big compliment to receive this award, because the paper was something that we were really intensely working on, and I think as well that it turned out pretty nice.
Yes.
And as part of your research group, we did this study on small businesses funded by Tekes funding, and so we did some data analysis from company data found from online sources. I think the key outcome of the paper was the highlighting of these kind of like different issues in big data analysis.
Yes.
And so we indeed did found a lot of problems, and one of the key things is that many of these problems are still pretty unsolved.
Sure.
So there's a lot of like fruity ground for further research.
There is.
Yeah.
And if we look at the MindTrek program, there are some pretty interesting or particularly interesting sessions from this point of view. One thing that I'm thinking and looking forward to is the My Data session, where you have Ossi Kuittinen, Minna Isomursu, Professor Minna Isomursu, and Antti Poikala. Antti Poikala is one of the, you could almost say that he's the guy who brought open data to Finland together with Petri Kola and Karja Hintikka.
I'm happy to say yes on that. Yeah.
So they will be talking about My Data.
Yeah.
And that's related to exactly that. The data that is being collected from for each and every one of us, that we as consumers, as citizens, are not able to connect into.
Yeah, I'm personally interested in the Web of Things presentation by Dave Raggett.
Yes.
He's a really influential guy, and I'm hoping he has a lot to offer on that front.
Yeah, that is an interesting session, and maybe something that that we have been working on in academia quite a bit.
Yeah.
Together with Ossi Nykänen, who is actually organizing the session as the W3C head in Finland.
Yeah.
So and we know that Dave Raggett has been implementing many of the things that Tim Berners-Lee has been kind of inventing, and probably they have been doing all this together. And also there is session on big data by Phil Harvey. I've never met Phil Harvey, but I'm actually hoping to be able to be his driver when he arrives in Finland, and he has to be picked up at the airport. So I'm looking forward to being the driver and meeting him to have a chance to discuss with him on these topics, because I see that he's involved in a data-driven startup.
Also, one of the big themes I think in this year's MindTrek is this kind of like quantified self movement, which has been getting really big, both in the States as well as in Finland.
Yes.
So in that front, I'm looking forward to those quantified self sessions. So what's that going to bring to the table? That's really interesting.
I think it's another topic, like my data, quantified self, both are fields where people are actually using data.
Yeah.
Like not talking about using data, but they're actually collecting data and figuring out new ways, like novel ways of collecting the data, but not only collecting, but actually getting insight from the data, even like how their own body is operating and mind, like that kind of thing. So actually doing analytics on themselves through these measurements in the context of quantified self, and in my data they are looking for. At the moment, I think that most of the work is related to actually breaking the boundaries of individual enterprises that are actually collecting the data, but they are not giving the data to consumers.
Yeah, that's quite a good conceptual differentiation between those two topics. But I think for me personally, the big revelation with these both has been that actually these kind of like data applications are those that everyday person can instantly use.
Yes.
Both in my data movements and as well as quantified self. In both of those, you get to like apply data to something that you do every day and probably change your behavior or change what you do, what you are planning to do next based on that output. Yeah. So that's really interesting theme, because many of these topics end up being a lot of hype and a little less of relevant applications. So that's one of the things I'm really interested in.
Other themes, I was listening to Sami Kuusela's talk at Pirkanmaa Future Forum. He's one of the speakers in the opening session on better working life, and I think he would be talking about the connection between large companies and startups, how startups can transform the way big companies are doing what they are doing. So I think that's his message, that even though startups may not be the main revenue, the ones that will actually create the revenue for Finland, like and taxes for Finland, but they have a role in transforming the ways big companies are doing things.
The faster we get like to react on real changes on business landscape, the better companies we will get here.
Yes.
I mean, it's the inertia that's killing us, not the people.
Yes.
We have I think Finland is full of talented, bright people working on interesting things, and it's like this lag of what we have been doing and what is currently required. That is killing us. So we need to change and adapt to those changes on this business landscape to survive.
In addition, there is going to be the Academic MindTrek again.
Yep.
So it is going to be the third day, is going to be the main event for Academic MindTrek. But I think there will be some sessions within these 2 days. I know about one session which is about new ways of doing business analytics and business modeling. And one of the participants, the session is being organized by Tampere University of Technology knowledge management folks, including Hannu Kärkkäinen and Jari Hussila. And participants of the panel include Teemu Tebest, who is another colleague of ours, currently working as a data journalist at YLE, and he will be talking about doing analytics in media domain and the way that this large company YLE is using analytics to drive their everyday operations. I think I was working at university, and I had been working there maybe like more than 5 years easily, and I really didn't know about MindTrek too much. I knew that the name is really nice, and the logo is really nice, but that was kind of it. So to me it was kind of a distant thing, and only the first time that I attended I realized how valuable thing it is.
And also I think MindTrek can be like a buffet of things, and like if you have just one day to spare, you can pick some nice topics and say come to Wednesday or come to Tuesday, or
Sure.
maybe just a half a day, but you can still do this. You don't have to take it as a whole if that's too much for you right now. So
and of course you will see the new hotel Torni as well.
The venue is going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to see the new Torni hotel in action. So